Willkommen zu Mac for Musicians, dem Internet-TV-Magazin für Musiker. Wir hatten Gelegenheit, eine hausinterne Produktpräsentation bei Alesis auf Video aufzuzeichnen. Aus der Dokumentation haben wir die wichtigsten Auszüge für Sie aufbereitet. Der folgende Beitrag zeigt das Alesis Performance Pad mit 8 anschlagdynamischen Drumpads und einem elektronischen Drumcomputer. Es eignet sich besonders zum Üben sowie für Drum-Performances im Studio und auf der Bühne.
Introduce myself, I'm Jim Norman. I'm the product manager for Alesis. Product managers at our company basically are the people, we have a division and we have our product lines, and I work in the Los Angeles engineering office. Now the idea of the performance pad, very similar design, but this one has sounds in it. Same kind of pads, where you can set it up and each one of the pads can trigger an individual sound. Then it also has one of our best-selling products called the SR16, built right inside here. So each one of these pads can trigger a sound, and you get the same kind of dynamic articulation you would get on the SR16, but you just use 8 drum pads instead. And then you can also plug in external kick and hi-hat triggers on this. So if you want to set it up on a stand and play it, you can have the pedals, and you got your main outs. Also a headphone input, which is kind of nice if you're, I don't know, when you started playing drums, did you get a practice pad?
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember how they used to do the rubber practice pad that played paradiddles and things? Pretty boring.
Exactly, yeah.
What I would have loved when I was a kid is to have had a product where I could have heard my sounds as I was playing on them. And that's really what this would be a great product for a lot of kids that are starting out, so that they can take their drumsticks and now they can, they have articulations and stuff, but more than just a snare pad, you can you have your cymbals, everything together. On top of that, we've also got, the SR16. So you can come in here, play your patterns, and just go up and down and try different stuff. You can make your own patterns on the pads, which is really fun. Where if you're a drummer, you have the advantage of doing some cooler stuff than the average keyboard player trying to play on the pads. This is just like an SR16. It has 16-bit samples with 24-bit DA converters, 50 drum kits, all the sounds in there that you can pull up just like you'd work with it. I'm going to let you go ahead and go down these bullets. You'll be better at than me.
Ja, also klar, wir haben wieder diesen Anschluss an der Unterseite für die Montage auf dem Drumrack. 2 Ausgänge, das heißt, es ist einfach ein Stereo-Ausgang, was ausreicht für die meisten Anwendungen, gerade wenn man wieder so diese Zielgruppe live und Practicing sich anschaut. 12 gleichzeitig spielbare Sounds, das heißt, man kann pro Kit bis zu 12 Sounds gleichzeitig spielen. Es gibt aber einen speziellen MIDI-Mode, wo man 120 Sounds gleichzeitig spielen könnte, der sich dann allerdings auf 16 Stimmen verteilt. Dann, das ist noch aus der alten SR16, es gibt 7 Panoramastufen und 7 Lautstärkestufen, ist nicht mehr ganz aktuell, aber sehr, sehr praktikabel, weil man sehr schnell auch zu einem brauchbaren Ergebnis kommt, und wie gesagt, eine Hi-Hat muss man ja nicht im Panorama überall hinhängen können, also liegt da meistens links. Tempi lassen sich variieren von 20 bis 255 BPM. Das heißt, man kann auch sehr, sehr langsam üben. Ja. Gerade wenn es jetzt darum geht, dass jetzt jemand anfängt, irgendwas zu spielen. Dann muss man halt nicht gleich mit 120 BPM starten, sondern man sagt, okay, man fängt an mit 70 und übt halt zu spielen. 100 Kits, davon sind 50 schon mal vorprogrammiert, damit man schon mal so eine kleine Einstiegsidee hat, die man natürlich noch abändern kann und dann auf 50 User-Speicherplätzen abspeichern kann. Man kann die Kits über MIDI-Programmwechsel ändern. Also gerade für die Zusammenarbeit mit dem Sequencer ist das sehr, sehr hilfreich. Sehr schön ist auch die Synchronisationsmöglichkeit zu MIDI-Clock. Das heißt, sowohl ausgangsseitig als auch eingangsseitig kann man die Pattern synchronisieren. Ja, und es gibt zusätzlich, wie auch bei dem Control-Pad, Eingänge für Triggerpedale, Kick- und Hi-Pedale. Okay.
So what's really fun on this product is that, so you can have your congas, you still have your drum kit on top of that. So if I go to each one of these pads and set a different sound. So instead of a tom here on this drum kit, I go over here and then I can just select, let's say, jump over here to the sound. Is a tom right now. Get to the tom, to pattern and add your own percussion parts. Or if you're on stage and you want to have a very basic pattern playing, you can just start playing your little percussion riff right on top of it. And then just, you could set this whole thing up. You could make it a whole percussion set, do a whole thing, and use it as your whole hand percussion section, just like you do the other product you see on the market. What's really fun about it is, one, it's the easiest. I don't know if you ever worked with a Roland SPD-20. It's a hard product to use. I used to use it a lot, and when you have to use this grid and try and find what you're using, and you have this display, it's only in numbers, so you try to figure out what that number meant in the display and try and find a sound. Here I have a nice clean LCD, just like an SR16. I can come in and find what I'm looking for. And if you don't have your manual with you, well, this is a prototype, but on the final version, they have the back side of listing all the sounds. So if you ever get stuck, you're going, well, what kid has that sound or whatever? Or you can just see the name of the sound right there on the display. So it's very cool and easy to work with. And if you've ever worked with an SR16, or even if you haven't, you can learn it in a few minutes. You go, okay, I want to just make my own pattern. Right now I'm in a preset. I go to user, it's empty. I hit play, I don't hear anything. I go into the compose mode. And at this point, you can just come in here and hit play. But in any case, you can come in there and record your own little patterns, work it out, and then you've got it done. The nice thing too is you can use this as a MIDI controller just like you would use on the control pad. You have MIDI out, so if you want to take this guy and plug him into a DM5 or any other kinds of product, you can use this alongside with any other modules, drum kit modules, and get an extended MIDI controller as well as built-in sounds. But a lot of times it might be just a kid starting out trying to learn drums, or a drummer who wants just to be able to practice and doesn't want to use a Remo practice pad and not listen to anything exciting. He can sit there and really get drums in and get full dynamics on it. It's a lot more fun.